Plarium has ruined Live Arena for a couple reasons. Now, before everyone goes in the comments, oh, skill issue, all this stuff, I know there's going to be some of that, but I actually think the Live Arena enjoyers are going to agree with me on this because there's a couple things that they've done to the game indirectly to Live Arena that has really ruined the purpose of the mode. So let me preface it with this. I started grinding Live Arena maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, and honestly, I was having a lot of fun. Like, now, granted, I would get irritated. Everybody gets against their monitor and starts, cussing out the screen when they go up against the whale, but, that's a bit of coping just to let it all out. But there's a lot you can learn. I went up against Nices, Mariuses, Marishkas, Galathirs, all of these things without those champions. Now, I do have a lot of good champions, just for context, where my account is at. I managed to get into top 500 live. I don't belong there yet, so I get my gear and speeds up. I'm not quite there. I'm a relatively new player. Been playing for about a little under 2 years now. I am a spender. If you couldn't tell, my +2 Furad, man, putting the fear of God into people in life. I need to start drafting him for shits and giggles. It'll be pretty fun. But honestly, I was enjoying Live Arena. Like, even when I was going up against better players than me, I was managed to pick up a couple wins on top 10 players. It was fun to learn. I felt like there was a lot of things that I was learning throughout the game. I felt like the experience was making me a better player in PvP, and I was actually enjoying PvP, especially with the seasonal updates they did to Live Arena with all of these rewards. But in the last 3 weeks, the quality of Live Arena has gone in the toilet. It's not fun anymore. Plarium made some really, really big gameplay changes and additional characters that, frankly, has ruined the mode. They've ruined Live Arena, and I encourage everybody to hear me out as to why. Let's start out with the elephant in the room, which are the rewards. One, they just announced big changes to Swift Parry and Deflection. I think Swift Parry, as a set, with a 9-piece set, is going to now give 50% ignore defense. The only way to get the accessories, though, are finishing in Platinum and Classic Arena. Maybe this rant needs to be about Arena in general. This is post-reset day 1, but having those rewards only be for Platinum with the way Platinum is right now is a big mistake, for one. Like, Plarium has really messed up Arena. Let's make this video about Arena in general, okay? They need to expand on Platinum. They need to expand on Platinum. It is silly that those rewards are only accessible to the end game players. It's bad for the game. It would be the same for Merciless, right? The gap between low gold players and high gold players in this era of the game is too wide. And unlike things like Curse City, where you can get the Merciless accessories, the stat requirement and champion requirements that you need to get there are not growing over time. But in Arena and PvP, especially with the addition of relics and all the things they've added, those stats are always increasing. So while the floor of Gold 5 is going to be the same, the ceiling and gap between the top and the average player progressing in the game is going to get wider and wider as the years go on in the game. And if you want players to actually have a chance to get accessories and experiment with all the cool things in the game, gatekeeping those rewards in their entirety to the highest level of play is not healthy for the game. It's not. So my solution for at least this is I think Platinum needs to get tiers. The higher up you are in Platinum, the higher the drop rates and quality of the accessories you're going to get are going to be. But having these accessories in their entirety be gatekept by Platinum Arena, although we all know they're going to put them in the Premium Forge Pass. Let's not pretend for 1 second. It needs to be obtainable for more players, and I think a rework to Classic and Plat Arena, and just adding to Platinum, because, look, guys, the difference between low gold and high gold, it's just too much. They really could benefit from having a new rank here. But back to Live Arena. So the Classic Arena rewards are now going to be better than the rewards in Live. At first, these rewards were good. If you take a first glance, seasonal rewards, okay, I'm getting some basalts, which were harder to get because now they've added them to more champion training tournaments, Chimera Nightmare. These materials are now much more obtainable. They added the 2 new sets, Stone Cleaver and Rebirth, both of which ended up being bad sets. Stone Cleaver is not good at all. Now Total Guard's in the game, so it's even worse than it was before, and Rebirth was only going to be used on some revivers, but damn, I haven't gotten any good Rebirth gear, really. I've been grinding this and finishing out to the mythical mats each time, and my Rebirth gear at best is triple roll speed on flat stats. I got nothing good, and even then, it's not going to compete with Total Guard with how strong that is. We'll get to that next. But the rewards aren't good. They're good. Okay, oh wow, you get some legendary summons. Let's take a look at the 2 relics you can get from the live arena pool. Oh, let's take a look at this. The Harp and the Serpentis, 2 of the worst legendary relics in the game. Now, the mythical materials, a 20% chance to summon a Death Dealer or a Polytope, but the Death Dealer is by far the best relic here. And then the standard pool, obviously, you can get a Heart or a Hollowed Hilt, but you're basically the only good reward for the entire season of Live Arena now is a 20% chance to hit a mythical and get a Death Dealer. But even then, you're rolling the dice again, and it's only a 25% chance on top of that. So the rewards are awful. They really need to buff the rewards in Live Arena for it to be worth it. And you could say, oh, well, your area bonuses are good, but you can get these in the off season. You don't really need to get these. And frankly, they're not essential for a lot of accounts. Like, I know people say they're good, but there's a lot of accounts that can progress in the game without needing any of these. I think the best ones you can get are Curse City to help you in Curse City. But outside of that, really minimalistic rewards there. I think they're non-essential. Faction Wars Hard can also be pretty useful as well. I don't need to do any of these. Now, granted, I have spent on the game, and I'm sure some average, progression players can get some value out of that, but it's really not fun or worth it. Next step, there's one champion in particular that I think has absolutely ruined the meta and made it so unfun, where if you lose to Marius, you lose to Taurus Marichka, maybe outside of Nice, Empress you lose to, there's a lot of things that you can take from the fight and learn to become a better player and improve in the game. However, there is absolutely nothing that you can learn when going up against Predator. This is the most unhealthy addition to the game I've ever seen. At least Nices were somewhat rare, at least throughout progression. And again, like, you do see Nice a lot, but you can ban the Nice and play around it, do whatever, okay? But Predator has got to be the dumbest character I've ever seen be added to a video game in my life. I've played competitive shooters at the highest level for 10 plus years. I've seen a ton of silly characters, Broken Brig in Overwatch 1. Some of the Marvel Rivals characters are ridiculous. This guy is the dumbest thing I've ever seen added. And whoever designed this kit is one sick human being. Sick in the head. IRL sick. Because you've got to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, Looney Tunes off the Disney Channel to give a nuker. First of all, stop with the evade. Stop it. Like, it was annoying on Loki, and it never should have gone past Mikey. But they went too far when they gave a nuker a 50% chance to not only evade all effects, everything, before their turn, but also counterattack. This is absurdly broken, and it genuinely should be nerfed. I didn't say Nice should get nerfed. I didn't say Ember should get nerfed. I didn't say any of these other champions should get nerfed. I understand why they don't want to nerf champions. But this is genuinely such a stupid, stupid mechanic that it should not be allowed in the game. And if he's going to evade, he shouldn't counterattack. I think the evade ramping off kills is probably fine. But whenever you go up against Predator in Live Arena, you're actually just rolling the dice as to whether or not you get to win or lose. Your setup doesn't matter. None of how your draft matters, unless you draft Bayek or some block damage champs. But even then, he can still use his Hunter's Gaze skill and block revive and hit through everything. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, he hits through unkillable. He hits through block damage. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And they need to nerf that champion. Straight up. I think Predator needs to get nerfed. It's the only time I've ever advocated for a nerf. It's stupid. So Predator has ruined Live Arena. All the fun in the game is gone because you can't learn from that. Like, how are you supposed to learn as a player? Oh, and I know there's a lot of coin flip in Raid in general, but I don't think there's been one to the degree of this. A lot of the games come down to wands, all this stuff. But if I miss a wand, I'm still in the fight. If I miss a Predator, somebody's getting one shot, and the fight is immediately changed to a degree that's way farther than a wand proccing or not proccing every time. It's bad for the game. It's bad for the game. That brings us to Total Guard. Total Guard is way too strong, and Mercurial has ruined the game. Here is why, okay? One, it's significantly stronger than Stone Skin was when it came out. Again, you can still lock it out, but if you look at what it's done to Arena, Stone Skin slowed down fights at the start. It was a healthy. It was an answer to speed, right? But there were counters. Like, you can burn it, you can bomb it. I think it added a diverse way to play Arena, okay? Without stalling out the fights too long in the end parts of the fight. But with Total Guard regenning a stack as the fight goes on, when numerous champions get the total guard, it stalls out arena fights tremendously. And the difference is with Stone Skin and this is at least Stone Skin was over after 1 or 2 turns. But with total guard, and when they start to get numerous champions in the game with 9 Mercurial, if your damage dealer isn't a multi-hitter, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance. So at least the champions that couldn't answer Stone Skin, if you had a reviver in Stone Skin or something like that, you could revive that champion. That Stone Skin wouldn't come back later in the fight, delaying the fights even more. But with total guard, the fact that it's going to keep regenning and you're going to have numerous champions on the enemy team with the triple stack, with the regen, unless you're drafting Marius or any of those champions that can consistently AoE multi-hit, how is your champion meant to stay in the fight, right? I mean, not to mention, win or lose, the duration of arena fights is going to get dragged on for so long. The quality of that experience is bad. I think arena is at its best when fights usually last between 30 seconds and 2.5 minutes on the high end. When you start to get past the 2.5 minute mark, even the 2 minute mark, the quality of the matches and the fun for the player just gets extremely diminished, right? It's not, you don't want to see arena. I think they've got a Goldilocks zone for arena duration. And Total Guard is going to push that duration way past unless they nerf the set and allow for more effects to actually change it. Number one, here, what would I do if I could change it? One, buff strip should work on Total Guard. Maybe not 100% of the time, but at least a 50-50 chance to strip the buffs. 100%. If that's not what they want to do, then you should only start at 9-piece with 2 stacks, okay? You should not get 3 stacks to start the fight. This would make it way more approachable, and you might say, well, it's bad if you don't get 3 stacks to start. Well, you know what? You should have to trade off some of the initial power to start the fight to get the extended protection throughout the fight. This would make it a contrast different option than Stone Skin, where there's a trade-off. You're giving off that power at the start to get more sustain throughout the fight. I think that would make the set much more balanced and much more fair, whilst letting it still be unique and powerful in its own way. But right now, the way it is right now, they've got to get ahead of this and actually nerf it in a meaningful way so that Arena just doesn't become unplayable. Because here's what I'm going to tell you right now. I have no interest in playing Arena anymore after this season. Live Arena especially. I was really enjoying Live. I felt like the rewards were worth it. I was learning a lot about the PvP meta and the game. But with more and more Predator RNG being added, triple Mercurial coming into the game, there's not a lot of, like, even with Fabian being as strong as he was, like, you know, I felt like I had some viable options, whether it be my mythical champs, Donnie, who was a fusion, and Chronophage. Like, I felt like there were actually some legitimate options in the game to learn and play around. But against Predator RNG, against Total Guard, unless you're multi-hitting it, there wasn't like a gameplay where I felt like I was learning and had the ability to play around it at all. And it just made Arena really, really lame. So what do you guys think about the state of Arena? I know some people might sit here and say skill issue, sure, whatever, doesn't matter. But I think even the live Arena enjoyers can agree with me at the rewards and say, yeah, these are not worth it. Like, they're not good rewards. I think Classic Arena finishing Platinum is going to have more compelling rewards than live Arena. So I think they've made live Arena significantly worse the last couple weeks. What do you guys think? What would you change? I'm really not a big fan of these changes, to the point where I'm probably going to stop playing for a bit until they either A, make the rewards worthwhile, or B, make it fun again. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Take care. Much love. Peace out.